What up, you beautiful motherfuckers? I'm about to show you a little concrete project I've been working on. In it, I give the basics for forming. You can take these basics and apply it to any job. This is a smaller job, but the same principles work on the big jobs. So let's check that shit out. Let's roll with it. Alright. What it is, Daniacs? I'm about to do form up a little slab. This is a well right here. I'm gonna make a little well house right here. Got my wood. This was not nice and clean like that when I first got here. It looked like, that everywhere except for worse. Had all kinds of debris in it from the past wooden well house that was there. So this is the before, then I'll have the after for you. I don't have all the equipment that I need, or else I'd have cameras set up to get B-roll of me working, but I can't really work and film at the same time, so I gotta work a little bit, stop and film. You can take my word for it that I'm doing this work or not. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, once I get some equipment, I will have some cameras set up, getting some B-roll of me working, and then, do the fast forward dealio while I'm talking like this. Edit it together real nice like, But for now, that's what it is, honky. All right, let's see what it turns into. All right, guys, so I got us really close to squared right here, square enough to start digging my footers for this thing. So I got my lines right here, and then I'll form this thing. Once I throw the forms on it, I'll perfect my square, and just kind of showing you the process for this thing. I stopped by and got my steel on the way, and I'll keep checking in with you as I go. Let's do this damn thing. All right, giving you all an update as I go. So I got my ditches dug. Now, of course, that's not where the form is going to sit, right? It's not in place yet. I was just getting it put together. Then I'll float it over in place. I got exactly 6 foot right here on the short sides, and exactly 8 feet on these long sides right here, okay? So I know my measurements are exact. You have to know your measurements are exact, then you can pull your 3, 4, 5. You'll come out 3 feet right here, 4 feet right there, and then the 5 feet connecting them will put it right perfectly in square. As long as you know all your dimensions are exactly right, if you get one corner square, then all the corners will be perfectly square. Now there is a slight bow in this board right here, and that'll throw the square off a little bit. So I'm going to come over here and do the 3, 4, 5 on this board right here. It's still got a very slight bow on this board, but not nearly as much as the other one. And that'll get us a lot closer to our square. All right, so I'm going to float this thing over. I'm going to get it close to in place, and then I'll sink it down and get our grade level right. This stake right here is our grade stake. That's where the top of the concrete's going to be. So I will level off from that onto this form right here once I put it there. And then once I get that right, I will level all the way around it and get this whole thing level, and then it'll be level and square and ready to pour. All right, this is going to be a little pump house. This is a well pump right here. It's an old well pump, and he wants a nice solid pump house for it. So we're going to do our slab, and I'll come back later and do some blocks around this thing. And he's going to have the roof made to be able to detach for later in the future if they ever got to come back and pull this well shaft out, which you have to do from time to time. So I'm just keeping you all updated on this project as I go. And the next time I check in, it'll all be in place and looking nice and pretty, right where it's got to be. I just wanted to kind of show you the steps in between. Like I said, once I get more money, I'll be able to set up a couple cameras to have B-roll to take footage of me while I'm working, and then I can kind of show that, edit it in and show that and stuff. But for right now, this is how I got to do it. But It's not the best way to record it, but it's better than nothing. And it takes very minimal tools to do all this right here. You know, I got this thing right here. You got to have these things. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this. Check this shit out. Watch. Okay. Look at this shovel right here. This is called the root grinder. It's the root destroyer right here. And this is what you need for digging in Arkansas, dude. A regular ass shovel don't do it in Arkansas. Regular shovels definitely get the fluff out better. This doesn't get bulk fluff out, but when it comes to just cutting into the ground, this right here is what you want. This will cut into the ground way better than a regular round shovel will. Alright, motherfuckers. Be checking back in with you. Alright, motherfuckers. So you're probably like, Dane, what the hell are you talking about? Floated on over there. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. Floated on over there. Alright, notice how it's just kind of barely propped up. I'm just getting it close with this, okay? I'm not shooting for exact, I'm shooting for close. This right here is my starting point. So that's my grade pin right there. Alright. Look at that, that's really close. So this is my starting point right here. And I'm kind of taking it all off. It's not perfect yet, but it's close. And you just want it close for when you start getting your pins in. Like this ain't quite perfect yet. You know, that's showing a hair low going that way, but that's fine. We're gonna start off putting our pins in right here. One right there and one right there, just to give us something secure to hold this, okay? Then once I get those first two pins in, I'm gonna do my 3, 4, 5, okay? And to get that square, then I'll put my pins on that side. And then I'll be able to work around with my pins, and then it'll be perfect. This right here is called floating it in. All right, so there's that step. All right, it's one thing to tell you about 3, 4, 5. It's a whole nother thing to show you about it. So this is how I do it when I'm by myself, which I'm usually by myself, okay? Measured my 3, there's my mark. Now these screws, you gotta take in at a slight angle, okay? You can't do it flat or it'll just peel that outer edge off. So you take it in at a slight angle, okay? That way, when this tape gets held on, it's held on right there at the very edge where it's supposed to be. All right, so there's my 3. There's my 4 from here to there. That's that line right there. And I take this one in at an angle as well. And then you float the tape right on over. Right at the edge, lining up, bam, 5, 3, 4, 5, or square. So to double check, you go corner to corner and then make sure it's even, okay? But of course, we can't do that. Always got to be some kind of bullshit getting in the way of something, right? So right over here, we got all this fucking shit in the way, blocking our measurement going from corner to corner. Which it'll be fine. The 3, 4, 5 is fine, and you can extrapolate that out. You can go 6, 8, 10, you know, and then just keep extrapolating and taking on up if you got a bigger pad or whatever. All right, so there's that step, and here we have it, Daniacs. Square, level. All right, we got that. I took my screws out from where I did my 3, 4, 5. There we go. There we go. Now, of course, you can't always trust wood. It's not always straight. You always want to look down it. This one right here has a big crown in it and a bow. Okay, so this is the only one that don't look level, but I'm going to cut that crown out. See how it goes up high to the middle right here? And you put it right here, and it'll go up high to the middle right here. See that? That means there's a big old crown in this thing. It's sticking up a little bit. So I intentionally drove these down a little extra right here because I'm going to pop a line on it and then come back and cut that crown off. All right. All we got left now is to put some steel in this motherfucker, and it's done did. What's up? And here we have it, y'all. Final product. Got our steel in. And as I showed you before, we're all squared and level. This thing's ready to pour. Out here in Arkansas, they don't like to tie every single crossing. They like to do every other one. I was taught to tie every single crossing. And so I prefer to tie every single place where it crosses over. If it's a super big project, which I don't usually do big ass projects, but I've definitely been on some big projects with some of the local Arkansas guys. And when you got a whole fuck ton of steel, yeah, I can see the sense in doing every other one, you know, because it's not like them ties is what holds everything together. You know, them ties are the first thing to rust out. It's the steel itself. That's why they got all the grooves in it. I propped everything up on some broken pieces of block right there. If you got the time, you might as well do that, because it does no good to let the steel mat sit down flush on the ground. You want it up, you know, a couple inches into the concrete, and that holds everything together better. So that's how we do it, y'all. I mean, this is a small little project right here, you know, but you can scale that. You do the exact same things for a big ass 100 by 100 pad, you know. The biggest one I've done out here in Arkansas was about a 60 by 100. That was 2 different crews came together and they called me out to help them on that. So I just want to show y'all a little bit of something I do. Now, block and masonry is my specialty, and that's what I prefer. I just do the concrete to keep busy. And it helps to get any kind of masonry that's going on top of concrete. You know, if you do the concrete, you're more likely to get the masonry too. But I much prefer the masonry. The concrete isn't as enjoyable for me, but, you know, I still do it. Got to keep busy. There's a lot of demand for concrete out here. Not as much demand for masonry so far from what I've seen. But is what it is. Got to keep busy. I just paid a fuck ton of money to get my Roku channel going, and I got to make some of that back. I got other bills, and now I got to worry about paying the Roku bill also. I imagine it'll take a couple months to get some traction on Roku, to get some subscriptions coming in. So we'll see how that goes. I'll give it, you know, as long as I can on Roku, just paying that bill. You know, but at a certain point, if I'm not getting any return on my investment on Roku, I'll have to pull the plug on Roku. So I'll be quitting uploading to YouTube as soon as my Roku channel goes live. I will still save all my videos separately on my computer. I'm also going to other platforms as well, like Rumble and OnlyFans. No, come on, y'all. You ain't going to see my balls on OnlyFans, all right? It's the same ass content I post everywhere else, except for on OnlyFans. Motherfuckers are used to paying subscriptions, you know? And I've tried to set up my OnlyFans account a few times. You know, you got to send in your ID. I guess I'm too ugly or something to keep rejecting it. I do everything that they said. You know, you got to have your ID, a picture of your ID. Then you got to have a picture of your ID right next to your face. And I've done that shit 2 or 3 times, and they keep rejecting it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? That's just some things I do right there. I am the brightest night. I am the darkest light, and I am ascending, as are we all. The dark light is upon you. Stay beautiful, motherfuckers.